Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear us okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay, I think we can go ahead and begin the meeting.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Moises Gomez, your CPAB co-chair, your civilian CPAB co-chair. How's everyone doing today? All right, I see we got Adam, you got Leo, Officer Vasquez is there, Andrea's there, Gabriel's there. The individual, I think you've got you're listed under iPhone. I don't remember your name.
It's probably me. My name is Jaron Bogle. I'm the director over at Chateau Recreation Center.
Okay, good to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
All right, so with that said, Officer Alan Corrales would have sent us out a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. I noticed that the link was not updated. So we'll post that in chat. So the only other correction I've got is under red where the link reported. I just posted the link in chat that we should use that. So I would say I would like to pass the minutes with the amendment of updating that website link. And that is, of course, posted in chat. Any other issues or updates that might be needed on the minutes?
No, that's good.
We also need to.
Okay, so if I can get a motion to accept the minutes with the updates, please raise your hand. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So motion passes. So minutes have been passed as amended. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, so next up, Captain Sandoval, you got some remarks for us for this afternoon.
Thank you. So it's good to see you guys. I know we haven't been together for a month, but it's really nice to see whoever is on the call today. So we do appreciate it. Kind of good news, we don't have a whole lot to report, which I think is a good thing in regards to our crime. I know the one thing I've been harping on is with our ground theft autos, our cars being stolen. We talk a lot about folks that are repeatedly leaving their keys in their car. A lot of them are like the Uber Eats, the DoorDash, leave the car on with the keys in so they can run in, drop off the food and come back. The car is stolen. We've had a few UPS drivers do the same. And then we've had just folks that decide to double park, leave the car on with the keys in the ignition to go talk to a friend or a neighbor because they happen to see them out in the street. And they're far enough from the car, someone jumps in and takes off. So we put it again on our Instagram, reminding folks don't leave keys in the car. But if you can just remind friends and family, it's a huge effort to get that car recovered and then have to get a new key or get the locks fixed. So just a reminder, but that's something that we're experiencing quite a bit. The second thing that we are still struggling a little bit in the Olympic area is our aggravated assaults. Aggravated assaults can range from 2 people physically fighting and someone being seriously injured, someone hitting someone with a hose, with a pipe, with a hammer, as well as someone brandishing a weapon. 2 people have a discussion and someone pulls their weapon, doesn't necessarily have to point it, but just showing it, a knife, an axe, something that can produce great bodily injury is considered an aggravated assault. And we've seen our aggravated assaults on the rise. Majority of them are stranger related. People are walking down the street. They get pushed, shoved, they get brandished with a knife, they get hit with a hammer. It's kind of a variety. It's not within one area in our division, it's throughout the division. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is just a reminder. Again, talk to folks, make sure you tell your friends and family to be aware of their surroundings. Sometimes you park your car, you're gonna get out and you see a group of folks that you just don't feel comfortable with. Maybe get another parking space and do whatever you can to protect yourself. Road rage is one of the other things we're experiencing with aggravated assaults. 2 people are driving, someone gets upset, they cut them off, and road rage incident or brandishing weapons. So just, think of your surroundings, try not to put yourself in a predicament where you become a victim and you may get yourself injured. So that's kind of something that we've been experiencing in the last couple of months. And I know I kind of bring this up each time, but I just think it's important that we discuss it. The third thing is that we're all aware of the homeless, and I'm so glad that we've got someone from the Chateau Park Recreation, because we've got a huge homeless encampment at 4th and Chateau, as I know you're aware, and you're living that. We've been in contact with several of the folks in that area. The senior lead officer, Officer Melconian. We are working on cleanups and ensuring what we can do to try to get that area back to a normal living space and get it back to where folks that need to use the sidewalk can use the sidewalk. It's gotten so out of control that it's going to take a little time, but I do promise you we are on it, and it's something we're very aware of, and it is one of our many homeless encampments. But we had a homeless encampment at 6th and Berendo with numerous tents, with numerous debris, and with a couple of RVs, with connections with the council district, and working together, we got rid of that, and we were able to house those folks, get them in a safe environment, which they need to be, and we're going to do the same thing at 4th and Chateau. So that's something that we are working on. And then a couple other quick things, since I have a moment to discuss here. We've got on Friday our Faith in Blue. It's the second one that we will be having. It's not just an LAPD, it's countrywide, and it's something basically for the LAPD or the police departments to get together with our different clergy and members of the community and just discuss various topics. And we're going to talk about homelessness, we're going to talk about vendors and different community concerns. So it's a great opportunity to meet and greet and get with the police department. And that will be on Friday we've got it slated for, I have to look at my calendar, I apologize. But if anyone's interested, that is going to be on this Friday. It's via Zoom, and it will be at 5 p.m., 5 to 6 p.m., 5 to 6:15 p.m. And again, it's just basically conversation and dialogue between all parties, trying to connect and come up with solutions and different ideas to make the community better. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is we are having our Olympic booster golf tournament. We didn't have one last year, and this year it will be on Friday, November 5th, and that will be at a golf course in Whittier. And again, if anyone is interested in playing, you can reach out and we can get you a application. I believe it's $100 per individual that wants to golf, and it's just a great opportunity to network with the police department, kind of all of us get together as a group. So that is all I have. We had some flyer details that we wanted to talk about as well. Is that going to be Officer Corrales?
Yes, ma'am. So we're planning on doing a flyer detail next week. Probably the Wilshire and Vermont corridors, possibly on Wednesday next week. So we can have all our volunteers come to the station next week, and I'll make up the flyers. We can go and pass them out. Also, I wanted to talk about the 16th, which is a Saturday next week. We want to do a cleanup around the station. We haven't done one in a little while. We always do it once a month. We want to do one this coming weekend on the 16th, maybe around 8 o'clock a.m. here at the station. And I'll be contacting everybody about that. So if you guys want to show up or pass the information along, it'll be great.
Time and date again, please.
It's going to be on Saturday, the 16th, around 8 a.m. And also, I wanted to pass along information I received from one of our volunteers that she wants to do like a little march around the neighborhood here around the station. She tries to do it every year for cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness. I guess she does it every year. If you want to get a little group together on Sunday, the 17th, just to go and walk around the neighborhood, just to promote breast cancer awareness. If anybody's interested in that. Also, we'll kick it off also like around 8 a.m. But more information will follow about that.
Perfect.
No,
Thanks, Officer Corrales. Thanks, Moises.
thank you. Yeah, definitely, Officer Corrales. I would definitely love to get information about both the cancer, breast cancer awareness, because I like to put that actually also on the calendar, the bid calendar for the BOQ. So yeah,
Perfect.
definitely want to have that. On the issue of, like we mentioned, homelessness, I know, like, one of the efforts that the bid is doing in the south and western side of the division is that we've been regularly keeping track of and reporting the homeless encampments to the city. And of course, I highly recommend you use the 311 My LA 311 app, as well as also using the LASA LA Hop website as well. Just to give you an idea of, like, some of the things you can do with that data. I've started datafying a lot of the reports I've been putting in, and actually we'll now actually have an interactive map that I've shared both with LAPD and Council Districts 1 and 10, kind of show, like, some problem encampments in the areas where I work in. It'd be great that if you are reporting these encampments using 311 or LA Hop, if you can provide some information. I don't necessarily need personal information from the individuals who are there. I just need locations of where these encampments are, because I would love to create actually a much larger map of the division that we can use to track those encampments, and kind of use it to remind City Services Bureau Sanitation and also LASA and the city where these encampments exist in real time within the division. Yes, Captain.
So Moises, real briefly too, what we do here at the division is our 10 senior lead officers, they are very aware of the different encampments. So if you need additional information from us too,
Yeah.
we do have not maybe the amount of homeless folks in that encampment, but we will be able to document the various encampments, small, large, what have you. So we do have a lot of information if that would help you at all.
That would actually help me greatly. And again, I don't necessarily need information because I am on the individuals, because I am mindful of their privacy, but we do need to know where these encampments are so we can kind of keep track of it. So if we're aware about where they exist within the district, and you're going around doing your daily business and you happen to see it, or see one that you necessarily don't recognize, by all means report it. If create an account with 311, the system will actually spit out an email with any images you might provide of the encampment, a location where it exists on the street, and we can then kind of geolocate those and use those on the map. I don't know if I can share my screen really quick and kind of show what I've kind of been doing, if that's okay with you, Officer Corrales.
Yeah, no worries. Gabriel, can you make him the host real quick so you can share his screen, please?
Or you can just, or co-host is fine.
Hi, Moises. This is Officer Bass. So, do you mean just the Pico corridor?
I want
in our division?
so I have my own Pico corridor one, but it'd be great to have an augmented map of the entire division, and I can create that in Google Maps as well. So
Okay.
people, and like, we can share that link so people within CPAB can kind of go to that link, visit the link, and see where those encampments exist as of the last update.
Okay. I know we do have a lot of encampments. A lot of them are just single person encampments and aren't so big, but yeah, we'll get you that info.
Yeah, because we can categorize and see which ones are the biggest and the smallest. To be honest, the ones I'm most worried about are the ones that have a lot of trash buildup. In case you didn't know, last week we actually had an encampment fire on Pico and Menlo.
Yeah.
And it ended up damaging
That's
a
that we
building
chose
there.
bakery.
Yeah, the bakery, and unfortunately, when I was kind of going in after the case getting cleaned it up, that fire was about maybe 6 inches from the gas lines,
Right.
which is always concerning. So it's one of these encampments where there might be cooking, where there might be a lot of trash that's built up, where people are kind of like relieving themselves and
Right.
creating a dangerous location. Those are the ones that should be definitely high priority.
Right. With that particular encampment where they have a few of them, we're still waiting on the city council to vote on a couple of things in order for us to get them resources and clean that up. Since there is a daycare at the Menlo Apartments, that
Yep.
would fall under the 500 feet rule
Mhm.
that they're waiting to vote on. So that would help us a lot in getting them resources, getting them housed, and getting that particular corner like permanently cleaned up.
Because I believe it's 500 feet from any school, and I believe any church or sensitive locations. We have a lot.
Since the Menlo Apartments is
Yep.
sensitive because it is a daycare for
Yep.
the KYCC has the daycare there.
Yep.
And the after school program for the kids. So that will fall under
definitely. And you know, so we definitely want to have get a bigger, broader picture and get context of what we're trying to do. See if I don't know if you've been able to give me the. Oh, here we go. So let me know once you see it. Can you guys see my screen?
It's just black, Moises.
Oh, is it just
There
black?
you go. There you go.
I see it.
So this map is something that I created just for like the Pico corridor, for at least for the district. And I was able to actually link all the encampments actually within it with some notes, including the service request numbers that were last put in and when the first states that these encampments were reported. So I would love to build this out division wide, so we have a bigger, better idea, a context of what's going on. So we can go ahead and start addressing with the city and mental health providers on how we can get these individuals shelters and perhaps even linkage to any kind of like other mental health or just physical health assistance they might need. Because as you know, living on the street is not exactly a very healthy lifestyle. All right. Does anyone have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, so great. So yeah, so definitely, Officer Vasquez, I'll reach out to you and I'll get that information. And we can start building it out if at all possible.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. So there we go. So with that said, Officer Vasquez, you have a crime update for us?
Yes, as you can tell, like what Captain said, our ags are still going pretty high and our vehicle thefts are pretty high. I get a lot of requests from the residents about abandoned properties, and the abandoned properties is where a lot of the stolen property is getting found, and a lot of where they're breaking into these residences and causing fires in there. So that's a big problem especially like in Slow 69's area. The homelessness, the abandoned properties is a big problem, and I try to get a hold of the community members to tell me about what's going on with abandoned properties, so I can talk to building and safety and try to get a hold of the owners and hold the owners accountable, because it is a problem in the communities. So I do have a big problem with the abandoned properties. So we're trying to work that with building and safety. So, and it does cause a lot of problem with the homeless that go in there, and that problem just spreads throughout the neighborhood where they're breaking into cars, breaking into houses. So as soon as we take care of that problem, hopefully it'll fix or it'll work on the bigger problem of the break-ins, ags, and other crimes that are related to the homelessness and abandoned properties.
All right, thank you. And I wanted to ask you also, Officer Vasquez, any update on like the recent kind of rash of kind of like graffiti that's been happening around like the western side of the division? Is it mostly like located around like Venice, Pico, and Washington and Olympic?
My partner, Officer Garcia, is gonna handle that.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you turn yours on? Sorry, we have too much.
Feedback. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna walk away. So that is my area. That is basic car A97. And yes, you are correct. We are having an increase in that graffiti. We're noticing some new graffiti that seems to be from the tagging crew. I want to say it's TAM, TAM, something to that effect. And we're noticing that up and down Pico and Venice. I've met with the gang supervisor and his officers, and they're trying to figure out what gang that's associated with, because recently they started adding a 13 to that. So it looks like they could be matched up with drifters is kind of where we're leaning, but that's not 100% confirmed. And that would also give us the reason that we're having an increase in the areas you're noticing, Moises. We did have a home at Pico and there maybe a month ago. It did not appear to be gang related at the time, but we did also notice an uptick in graffiti in that area as well. So as more information comes out about that, keep you guys updated with that. But we do go around when we notice those things and put in a 311 request for the graffiti removal. And the business owners have been doing their best to keep on top of it as well. So, and then Captain Sandoval mentioned 6th and Berendo. And since we're speaking about gangs and graffiti, I think it's a good time to talk about that. I don't know if you guys are aware of what a Sarah project is, but a Sarah project is a location within a division that seems to be a hotbed of crime. It could be gang related, it could be homeless related, but it's basically an address or an intersection that police has identified as a problem. And I know 6th and Berendo is a little bit away from Pico Union bid area, but it was a hotbed for gang members to be selling drugs. Most of them were homeless, so they had moved into tents and RVs along that corridor. And the senior lead officer of that area had deemed it a problem. So we've made that an intersection that needed increased presence of police. And that resulted in, I want to say 43 arrests of narcotic suspects, people stealing cars. There were some gun arrests. And when you make that kind of activity and police presence there, it gets the council district's attention as well. And they were able to go in and do numerous cleanups. It was one of the first areas in the city where they were able to post signs saying that it's a continuous area that can constantly be clean. Because as you guys know, typically pre-COVID, if we did any cleanups within the city, especially regarding cleanups of homeless encampments, we had to give them 72-hour notice. We had to post it. There had to be pictures of those postings to make it a valid cleanup. And if for some reason someone didn't get notified and they could prove that, skip that location. So there are now signs there that are just like the no parking signs, like a stop sign, that are always there. And at any time, if that area pops back up, we can go back in, meaning the city, not LAPD, and they can clean that area. So as time goes on, I do anticipate seeing more of those areas. Those will be few and far because it has to be, like I said, a huge problem, not just your 1 or 2 tents. We're talking like 4th and Chateau, those kind of problems.
Yeah.
So that problem was actually solved. Those vehicles, RVs, tents have been completely removed, and it was a success. So with the help of Parks and Recs over at Normandy Park, we did a smaller scale Sarah project there, where we had an increase of drunks, increase of homeless. So because we created a Sarah there, we were able to get more officers in the park. Again, it doesn't get rid of every single homeless person or every single drunk, but it gives officers a reason to be in that area and that location and a direction. So that's what we were trying to do with these projects. And I feel like both of them are and were successful. So we're going to continue with that. And I think you're going to see more of those cleanups like 4th and Chateau and other areas in the area.
All right, thank you very much. I just want to float this idea out there, see if the division thinks it's a good idea. If we can create a list of those locations that needs the most attention in within the division. If I can get 2, maybe 3 volunteers, on like once a month going in on a Saturday or Sunday, and just going in and just putting in 311 calls, and kind of create the attention so the city can come take care of that, and perhaps look into putting those signs that you mentioned in regards to encampments up. I don't know, that's something that
I know all of the slows, this is Officer Vasquez, all of the slows on their daily patrols, we all put in our 311 requests for these homeless encampments or bulky items or whatever, so that we can get, and we are in constant contact with our field deputies. So they're the ones that are helping us out with these homeless encampments and getting the outreach and the cleanups done.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it would it help benefit if like a couple of the people who live and work in a division as well, to kind of back up your reporting, kind of follow it up. That way, this shows that it's not just LAPD doing its part, but the community itself should be kind of doing its best to kind of help itself. And I don't know if you think that would be a good idea or not.
No, I think it would be a good idea for the community just to walk and not engage with the encampment.
Yeah.
Walk by, note it, take pictures, and submit it. And that's not a bad idea.
Okay. All right. So I'll send you an email, and then I'll see if we can get a couple of volunteers amongst CPAB who can perhaps spare a Saturday or Sunday, and
I think, we just have to really emphasize that there's
Yeah,
absolutely no
no.
engaging, with the homeless. Because we have several folks that really want to do a good job and provide nourishment and provide blankets. They end up becoming a victim, or potentially get pulled into a tent. And, so just as long as folks know, hey, if you're gonna do it from a distance and not be close with the photo, then any
Yeah.
help is
Yeah, I
tremendous.
figure it's like, it's going to be like one of those, like, just kind of observation and take no direct action and try not to engage with the person. Because again, at the end of the day, it's, you got to make sure that you get home safe. So personal safety, and it's just an issue, just like, don't necessarily engage. And if you do happen to be noticed and they do come up to you, you should just leave the area. Yeah, but just make a note, and we can always follow up later on.
And I do see someone is putting in that, we've got a lot of bulky items and different problems in the area of Pico and Arapahoe. And absolutely, we are aware of that. And again, that 311 app is great. I've done that driving home and seeing a big couch and a bed, and I, hit the 311 app, you get a photo of it, like you had already said, Moises, send that through. That's a great way to get that, removed in somewhat of a timely manner.
Yeah. So Andrea, if you don't mind me asking, so is this on the north side of Pico, south side of Pico, and the residential side of Arapahoe?
It's on the south. I don't know my direction. No, maybe in the north. It's on Pico in the corner,
Okay.
Yeah, on the corner of Pico and Arapahoe. But I've been doing the 311, but actually I don't think they listen to me. So I just give up.
Yeah. You and I should talk offline, because there's ways to kind of find out what's going on, and kind of figure out what the issue is. And you can actually follow up and say, hey, the service wasn't done.
I know how to use that.
Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah. And the other thing too is it on the sidewalk? Is it on public or private property?
It's on the corner, like on the street, on the sidewalk.
On the northwest corner? Because I think I know what you're talking about. There's
I
like
think it's where they're building that hotel, when we go to the meetings they used to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the proposed park area. Okay, I know that area well. So yeah, I will be spending some more time there and check it out. See what's going on.
Thank you.
Will do. All right. Anything else?
I have a quick question. This is Jaren from Chateau Rec Center.
Okay.
Is there any possibility of our area becoming one of these Sarah projects that the other officer just spoke about? Because I feel like we more than fit the bill for the crime, the homelessness, all of the above. We can't even walk on the sidewalk. We have to walk our after-school kids in the street. It's bad. It's bad over here. I could identify which tents are the prostitution tents. You know what I mean? So can my staff. So.
Right.
So
No,
this
thank
is-
you for saying, I'm sorry, go ahead, Slow Vasquez.
Sorry, ma'am. This is Officer Vasquez again. There is a scheduled cleanup coming up in the next couple of weeks, and that area is gonna get addressed from like Vermont to Westmoreland, and it is Council District 13. So they're gonna be helping us. We're gonna be out there providing security for the workers, and that Chateau area is gonna be addressed.
Okay, great. Thank you.
But if it does not seem like it gets addressed to the point where we need to open up a Sarah project, we absolutely can do that, because it's not just a nuisance area, it's a quality of life, there's crime, there's been arrests, so it's one of those things that would be a good checkbox for us, Sarah, for us. So it is something we're very aware of. We have been working on it. We just haven't had the chance to do as much as we would like. But I think, as Flo Vasquez said, with this upcoming cleanup, it's kind of get us in the door and get us moving on it. So we'll definitely make sure that is on our top priority. And do you know Slow Melconian? Have you met Slow Melconian?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
fantastic. So just keep communicating with him if there's anything that you're like, hey, I really need to pass that on, because he communicates with his supervisor, and we're all on a daily or every other day text thread and different things that are happening. So we want to work with you for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And he's been great. Yeah, thank you.
Good. No,
And then just another side question too, and I know that this is all a process, and I know that doing everything that they can, and we appreciate it for all of that. And I know we're waiting on city council for the vote for the 500 feet situation, but is there any way in the meantime, could just like even the section that is directly in front of the facility, in front of the park, is there any way we can have those residents either relocated to the other side of the street or at least make a pathway, a walkway, so that we can walk the children still on the sidewalk and not in the street on the other side of the parked cars, literally like in the street, you know what I mean?
Right, no, and I'm so sorry for that. That is just terrible. And what we'll do is, it seems like every day there's a tweak in what we can and cannot do. So I don't want to give you a promise. Let me do a little bit of research and we'll make sure we get back to you ASAP on what we can do to help you out and get that a little bit better organized and cleaned up.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right, so the only other thing that I've really got, and Captain, this is more a question for you, because you mentioned the increase in aggravated assaults. I wanted to ask you your professional opinion as us as civilians, if we are witness to such a situation, what steps should we do to help out or stay safe, or how do we engage in case we happen to be witness to something like this?
You know, and that's a great question. And I think it just really depends on your comfort level. If we always tell people, be a good witness and call 911. Because oftentimes the person that's the victim that's engaging in this situation can't get to the phone and call 911. If you're able to get a photo from your cell phone or a camera of the actual suspect, a photo of the license plate if there's a vehicle involved or any other witnesses, that's always a great thing. We do have a lot of folks that jump in. We just had the other day a manager from a store jump in to help a security guard, and he got sliced with a box cutter. So it's really, it just depends on what you feel. We don't want to see additional victims and anyone else get hurt, but I know if you see someone being beaten up, you feel the need to jump in. So it's really a personal call, but we always tell people, just be a good witness as best you can, call 911, get whatever evidence you can of the crime. And I think that's going to keep you safe.
Also, Moises, to piggyback on that, just to let everybody know, starting tomorrow, I believe, we're gonna start running what we call reserve task forces, which we're gonna utilize our reserve officers, and myself and my sergeant and a few other senior lead officers, on you can say like on a directed patrol basis where crimes are happening. We're gonna be deployed there and just stay there for a few hours, walking around, meeting everybody, passing out flyers. It's gonna be us in uniform and everything. And I think that's gonna pretty much help a lot with all that stuff, I already spoke to my reserves and they're eager to do it. So they're eager to come in on the day that we schedule. But we're gonna see where mostly all the crime is happening and the times, and that's what we're gonna be. So hopefully that curbs all that's going on, make it a better community for everybody. It's more the presence of officers being there and the deterrent, so.
All right,
Can you send me the information and the times, please? So I can be present for the cleanup and the other events.
Yes, I'm gonna send that to everybody as soon as I lock down everything. I'll make sure
All right.
I send you the email with the flyers.
okay,
All right, thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
all right. Now,
Thank you.
so with that said, anything else for open forum? Going once, going twice? Sold? Captain Sandoval, closing remarks?
Just again, thanks for jumping on this call. I know a lot of you are busy and it's really, haven't seen Adam in a while, so it's nice to see Adam. But it's great to have you all here. And again, sometimes the information that you need, we may not have it at the moment, but we'll always ensure that we do get back to you because I know it's important for you. The connection is so key. We may not know about something, but if you do and you share that with us, we will do our best to try to rectify it or at least help in whatever area the concern is for you. So just thanks again for being part of the Olympic community. It means a lot to us.
Right. Thank you very much, Captain.
Thank you, Mike.
And thank you for everyone else for being here. We greatly appreciate it. So with that said, at 3:39, I call the meeting closed.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your
Thanks,
afternoon.
Thank
everybody.
you.